In this video, we're demonstrating soft tissue stimulation, sometimes known as foam rolling. This may be something you are integrating at the end of your training sessions or doing at home. The idea of soft tissue stimulation is to use the foam roller or a lacrosse ball to stimulate the tissue, improve blood flow, and improve the healing of these tissues. Given the fact that most of us are damaging our bodies on a repetitive basis, we're doing too much sitting, too little movement, that we end up with damaged and scar tissue, and this is a great way to help improve that, in addition of course to moving and getting your spine checked and adjusted when necessary. What we're demonstrating here is moving through the different body parts, rolling over the muscles, and what you're looking for are those tender areas, those sensitive knots and lumpy spots, and focus on those. It'll be uncomfortable and painful, and I'd say if you're not uncomfortable, you're probably not doing it correctly. So we've just completed the lower limb. So what we've covered there are the quads at the front, the hamstrings at the back, and the ITB or the iliotibial band, which is on the upper side of the leg. Now we're on to the upper back or the lats, and you can also focus in between the shoulder blades on the rhomboids, which is what we're doing here. You can lean to the left and to the right to get in right between the shoulder blades and the spine. Next, we're going to move into thoracic spine mobility or extension. So we're going to focus on three areas of the upper back, and we want to extend back, bring the head back towards the ground and extend over the roller. This helps counteract that forward head movement or that rounded shoulders from sitting and driving a lot. You may hear some moving or popping of the spine when you do this movement, and that's neither a good or a bad thing, but just to be aware that's okay. Next, we're going to move on to the lacrosse ball. This is good for getting into those tender areas or difficult to reach areas. So let's start here on the piriformis muscle, which is right there in the buttock. And again, just rolling, trying to find the tender spot, really just above the hip. This will be quite tender for most people. Always be sure to do both sides. Moving on now to the rotator cuff and the shoulder. Given that most of us have that sitting posture, this is a common area for injury. Rotating the arm in and out will kind of target some of those muscle fibers. Again, focus on those tender areas. And finally, we're going to move on to the fascia on the sole of the foot. Again, rolling the underside of the foot on both sides. And that concludes your soft tissue stimulation.